Hi everyone, this is my introduction video to my 2024 Appalachian thru hike attempt. Just thought I'd make a video. Most of these, well, hopefully not my only one, but just wanted to make some videos mostly for myself to look back on, but also for any friends and family who want to follow along. And I guess if the YouTube algorithm gods have put this video in front of you and you have no idea who I am, then hello, my name's Jimmy. So yeah, we're about, well, a couple of days away now from traveling down to Georgia to start the trail. I'm currently in Washington DC with family, just doing some last minute gear tests, making sure the weight of my bag isn't too heavy. But yeah, I just wanted to give some information on sort of who, what, where, when, why of this trip, and just go over some of the gear I'm taking as well. So essentially, if you're unfamiliar, the Appalachian Trail is a long distance continuous footpath from Springer Mountain, Georgia, all the way up to Mount Katahdin in Maine. So I think this year the exact mileage is about 2,197 miles, and we're basically hoping to take anywhere around 5 to 7 months to do it. We've been thinking about, well, I've been planning this trip for about 2 years now. So the original reason I wanted to do this was in late 2021. A good friend of mine, Johnny Young, sadly passed away, and it kind of left me kind of thinking about my own life and experience, my own mental health, and it kind of got me thinking I really want to try and set myself a challenge in the next couple of years, try and sort my health out, physical and mental health, and hopefully try and raise some money in his memory. So that's the kind of the why the why I want to do this. But yeah, so I've got a couple of days, as I say, before we go. I've pretty much finalized all my gear now, so I guess I can go through some of that, show you what I'm taking with me, and hopefully everything I'll have on my back for the next 6 months should keep me alive. So yeah, I'll just go through my bag and go through some of the gear I'm bringing with me. Okay, so I'll just start in the top of my pack and work down, I guess. So in terms of some of my electronics, I've got them in this DCF bag from Wild Sky Gear in the UK. Hopefully should keep everything nice and dry. So I have some in-ear Bluetooth headphones, which are in, well, I'm using them now, but don't want to just be left alone just listening to nothing, for I'll probably get quite bored, so I've got plenty of music and audiobooks downloaded. I've got some charging cables for all my various gadgets, along with my battery bank. So I've got a 20,000 milliamp Anchor battery bank. Probably more battery, probably more than I really need. Could probably get away with 10,000, but I've got a few different things, so I just would prefer the security of knowing I'm not going to run out of charge on any of my devices. So went for a bit of a sacrifice on the weight there, but I think far more practical. Also in here I've got a little massage ball from Decathlon, just for rolling out my feet at the end of the day. Got a Decathlon head torch, so it's got red lights, multiple different brightness settings. Yeah, nice little, hopefully if we end up doing any night hiking, hopefully that should come in handy. Also got, as a little luxury item, I've got a little flex tail pump. So this is the Flextail Zero, the newer one they've just released. whether or you can absolutely get away with just inflating your pad manually, but I think just having to do that over 6 months, at the end of a day as well, you don't really want to have to waste your breath if you're already tired blowing up the pad, and also you just putting in more breath and moisture into your pad, it could just get moldy. So I just thought, for the sake of just a little over an ounce, having this little pump was certainly worth the extra weight. I've also got a few things in here that I wanted to keep dry. So I've got a little Sea to Summit Airlight towel. So it's only sort of medium-sized one, just for wiping down my tent, getting condensation off. If my food bag is wet from hanging in a tree, just wiping that off before putting it in my pack, just so I'm not introducing extra water in there. I guess another little comfort item is the Sea to Summit Aeros premium pillow. Just a little inflatable pillow with a little layer of foam on top of the air bladder, which is I've used this quite a bit on a few long distance hikes in the UK, and it's been super comfy and definitely worth the extra little bit of weight just to get that extra better night's sleep. And yeah, last gadget is my Garmin InReach Messenger. So I've been testing this out today and it's been working great. Basically just like a little satellite beacon to let everyone know where you are. So I've got the link I'll be sending out to family so they can track me on the map, and then also send out check-in messages and let them know when I'm starting, finishing my day, where I'm up to. Also has the SOS feature, so if you do end up in trouble out of phone signal, you can just hit the little SOS button and get in touch with emergency services who can hopefully come and get you. But yeah, it's pretty light. I know a lot of people use the InReach Mini with the little screen, but I think navigation's not really a problem on the AT. It's so well marked. I didn't really think I need the screen with the track and everything. So just the messaging and tracking capabilities for this is, I think, is all I need. It fits nicely in the brain of my pack, and it works sending out track points through the material on the top of my bag. So that was a nice little purchase. I'm very happy with that one. Alright, so another thing I've got in the top of my pack, this probably won't stay in there. This is just how I've got it packed at the moment. I still need to tweak a few things of where I'm actually placing things in my bag. But I've got a little hygiene kit in the top as well. So a few little things here. I've got a little key to take off ticks if I do encounter any. Got some antibiotic wound cream, little tube of toothpaste, travel size thing of toothpaste, little anti-chafe gel stick thing, travel toothbrush, spare hair ties, nail clippers is an important one. I've also got a little pot of Vaseline. I could probably cut that down a little smaller, take some of that weight out. And then also another Ziploc bag inside here with just some ibuprofen, some multivitamins, and some stomach relief tablets. So if you have any stomach issues or anything like that, hopefully those will help avoid catastrophe. So yeah, just a little hygiene kit there. Probably got a few more things I might add in there, maybe take away, but I'm going to figure that out over the next few days. The other thing I have in here is a Tangle Teaser hairbrush. So I have very fine long hair, so it's just going to be an absolute nightmare if I don't have something to try and manage it. But they're super light and hollow. I might even just try and cut it in half if I want to be extra picky about the grams I'm taking. But yeah, it's already pretty super light, so I'll take one of those. I have a few warm weather things. So I've got a merino wool beanie from Decathlon as well, for the colder months. I've got a little bottle of Dr. Bronner's soap as well, so I'll take, hopefully keep my hands plenty clean with that. You can also use it if you get into any hostels or anything without laundry facilities. Use it to wash clothes, wash yourself, does everything. So keep a little bottle of that with me. Okay, in the side pockets of my bag, I have a number 2 The Deuce poop trowel. It's not the most glamorous piece of equipment, but certainly helpful. Dig your cat holes, you know, when you have when nature calls out in nature. So important piece of kit there. And what else have I got inside? I have my tent stakes as well. I keep on the outside. I don't want to keep them with my tent in case they obviously puncture the material or anything inside my bag, so I just keep them on the outside. I've just got 6 of these sort of Y-shaped aluminium tent stakes, kind of like the MSR groundhogs, but an sort of off-brand version. Same material, same weight, just couple of quid cheaper. So I've got 6 of those, and those should be enough for my tent, which I'll go through in a little bit. Okay, on the front of my pack, I've got my rain gear. So for my rain gear, I'm taking the Packer by Toiletry designs. So this is essentially a pack cover and poncho all in one. So the pack cover goes over the actual pack itself, and the sleeves and everything sort of tuck inside it. And then if the rains do actually come, you just pull the sleeves out, pull the hood over your head, zip it up around the front, and it covers your entire pack and yourself down to about knee length. So I went for that rather than a separate pack cover, just because otherwise then you end up with the gap between your own raincoat and your pack cover, and the rain will just get down the back of your neck, down the back of your bag, and soak in that way anyway. So it's a little heavier than you know, just a separate raincoat, but I think certainly I've used it on a few hikes in the UK, and it's been really good. So I think it's certainly worth the extra weight. Yeah, no, it's a good piece of kit, so I'm looking forward to trying that, putting it through its paces on the AT. Okay, on the other side of my pack, I just have one of my water bottles. So for my water on trail, I'll be carrying 2 smart water bottles. So I'll have this 1 litre one is going to be my dirty water, so filling up from streams. I've got a Sawyer filter, which I don't have with me at the moment, but I've got a Sawyer filter which screws onto the end of this, so I'll just use this for dirty water to empty into this 800ml smart water bottle with the sports top. And I've just got a little mesh bottle holder on the front of my pack that we got off Etsy in the UK, just so I've got my water to hand. So got 1.8 litres of water carrying capacity. I'll probably bring one of the bags that comes with the Sawyer, just because they're super light. I'll probably just have one of those as a backup in my bag, just in case there's any longer water carries are needed. But yeah, that should do me well. There's plenty of water on the AT, so I shouldn't be running out anytime soon. The other thing on the front of my pack is a little Osprey phone pouch. So in here is obviously where I'll keep my phone, my headphones. I've also got this little DCF wallet, so I'll be using that to obviously carry any cards and cash. I'll just put in the front of my pack there. Just have it close to hand. In my hip belt pockets, so the front of my hip belt pockets, I have, well, just for today, like I say, I might move stuff around where it's where I'm keeping everything, but just for today at least, in my hip belt pocket I had a buff, so just extra layer of warmth. You know, just use it as a hat, neck gaiter, quite hundreds of uses for the buff, so definitely have one of those. For gloves, I've got these Black Diamond fleece gloves. They do work with my phone as well, which is handy. But yeah, nice and warm. In the other hip pockets, I've got a few little Toiletry toiletry items I wanted to hand. So got a little sunscreen stick, chapstick, and a little bottle of hand sanitizer. So if I'm not doing a full hand wash, I'll just a quick little spritz. It's from Trader Joe's actually, it's very nice. The other thing I'm carrying with me the whole way, so I mentioned at the beginning obviously that I was hiking this in memory of my friend Johnny. So something I'm bringing with me, which is I guess probably one of the more important pieces of kit I'm taking. So shortly before he passed, the last time I saw him was at my friend James and Tabitha's wedding, and for their wedding he bought them a bottle of whiskey, which until now had remained unopened, and they were kind enough to open it and donate a little piece of it. So I've got a little plastic hip flask of the whiskey that he bought for their wedding. So the idea will be take that from start to finish and enjoy it on Mount Katahdin is the idea. I don't really drink whiskey, but I will for this occasion. So yeah, that's probably one of the non-negotiable things. I'm sure ultralight people would have a problem with me bringing, but obviously I'm proud to take that with me. So that's all the pockets on the outside of my bag. On the inside, let's open this up. So for my cook system, I've got everything in this cozy from Treadlight Gear in the UK. So it's a little Cuban fibre sack, but it's actually insulated with fleece and a little Reflectix topper. So it's fits my pot perfectly. So the idea basically will be I can save a bit of fuel, just boil the water, add my food in, and instead of having to keep it boiling, I'll just add it into this little cozy, zip it up, and just leave it to soak, so I can just save some fuel. So the pot itself is a Toaks 700ml pot. Inside, obviously, you've got a little bandana to keep it dry and wipe it out. Got a little MSR gas canister inside, and then I will be using the MSR Pocket Rocket 2 stove. So I've used this again on a few hikes, a few long distance hikes in the UK, and it's been brilliant. It boils the water in a couple of minutes, helps save fuel. I probably won't take this carry case. I've just had it when I was bringing everything over on the flight, so I probably won't keep it in here on the hike. But yeah, that's a good little piece of kit we've used plenty. The only other thing I need to buy is a little mini lighter to actually light the stove. Okay, do some housekeeping. Okay, so in terms of my cold weather gear, so I've got a Decathlon MT100 down jacket, down hoodie, I should say. So I know there's probably much more expensive options on the market, but I mean, for the weight of this, it's you know, you can't find anything for the same weight and warmth for cheaper, really. So you know, didn't feel the need to splurge out for a fancy down jacket. This does the job brilliantly. So yeah, that's just going to be for camp when it gets cold. Probably won't do much actual hiking in this, just because it'll, you know, wets out quite easily. It's almost too hot if you're actually walking. As my sort of active warm layer, I've got a Patagonia R1 tech face jacket. So I've gone for the jacket rather than the hoodie, because my base layer already has a hood, so I don't really need it. But yeah, this is again not the lightest option, but I've had it for a while now, and it's super warm for how thin it is, and yeah, I'm really happy with this. I bought it probably 18 months ago, it's almost 2 years ago now. But yeah, this has been really great on lots of hikes. So that's going to be my active insulation layer. Okay, what else have I got? So in terms of my footwear, so I'll be using, for actually hiking, I'll be using Injinji liner socks. So these are the toe socks. Obviously they have a little pocket for each of your toes to keep them separated to prevent blisters. And then over those I'll layer a pair of Darn Tough wool socks. I've had these for ages now and they've only just started to fray on the top, so once they do I'll be making use of their lifetime guarantee, getting myself a new pair of socks. So really love this combination. Done a few different hikes with different socks and different combinations, and this is the one that's worked out for me and prevented the most blisters. So that's my sock situation for walking. For sleeping, I also have another pair of the Injinji socks, but these are the mid-weight merino wool, so they're much warmer. They're not, see, much thicker than the liners, much warmer. So these will be exclusively kept dry in my pack, hopefully, for sleeping in and for around camp. So yeah, definitely going to be nice to have an extra pair of dry socks at the end of the day. What's the next thing I can grab out of here? Okay, so my food bag. So I'm going to be hanging my food when I get to each of the shelters. Obviously if there isn't a bear box or cables, then obviously I'll be able to hang this. So again, this is a DCF bag from Wild Sky Gear in the UK. I've put a few bits of reflective tape on it just so I can identify mine out of the potentially dozens of generic blue bags that might be in, I know Z-Packs do one, I think it's blue as well, so hopefully I should be able to identify mine. At the moment I've got, just for today's testing of my gear, I've got about 4 or 5 days worth of food in here. I've also got in here about 40-50 feet of paracord and a little carabiner to hang it. But yeah, good little piece of kit. This is nice. It's tricky sometimes to find some lightweight, especially DCF gear in the UK. Anytime I've ever followed anyone online or on YouTube in my research, everyone's using all these cottage American brands that are difficult to get hold of in the UK. So it was nice to find a manufacturer that actually did them. So yeah, definitely look forward to giving that a good test. Along with those socks, I have a merino base layer set from OEX from Go Outdoors. So just some leggings and a top, just for sleeping. Again, these will just be kept dry for sleeping, and that'll be my my insulation for at camp and sleeping as well. I have some Decathlon running leggings. So these would be, it's pretty cold today, but it's not cold enough just yet. But on those colder days where I don't want to just be walking around just in shorts, I've got these extra leggings just to keep me warm. There's a few things here I'll probably send home when it gets warmer. I probably don't need to carry the whole time, but that's one of them. But the last few things now, kind of into my big three now. So for my tent, I've got the Durston X-Mid 2. It's not the Pro, it's the double-walled version, with the inner mesh. So this pitches with your trekking poles. Super lightweight. Used this on the Snowdonia Slate Trail and a few hikes, overnight hikes in the UK. And it's held up brilliantly in torrential rain and howling winds, so yeah, I've got no concerns with how this is going to handle on the AT. I think there's plenty of people that use this as well, so yeah, excited to spend the next 6 months in that. For my sleeping pad, I've got the Thermarest NeoAir X-Lite NXT Max. There's too many acronyms, but I've gone for the wide option. So I'm a bigger guy, so I think the wider option was kind of necessary. It's one of the things where I've had to then take a bit more weight, just in order to have that extra comfort and get a good night's sleep. Again, used this plenty of times, and it's super comfortable, super warm. So yeah, just take this with me. I've got a little band on it to keep it all together. And lastly, oh, actually, I will say I'm going to pair that with. I have half of a Thermarest Z-Lite pad, so I've cut that in half, so it's only just torso length, so it's just for putting underneath my pad, not necessarily just for the warmth. This is already warm enough. It's more just for protecting the underside from, you know, from camping anywhere. If there's any stones or sticks I haven't cleared away, I don't want them, well, first of all, poking through the bottom of my tent, but also into the air pad. You know, I can repair the bottom of the tent quite easily. It's a bit trickier to get a lasting repair on an inflatable pad, because it's obviously always under pressure. So got that just to put under the torso part of my pad, just to protect that. And then for my sleeping bag, I have the Sierra Designs 20 degree cloud sleeping bag. So I don't really like the confines of feeling confined in a sleeping bag, but equally, you know, the quilts kind of seemed like it could be drafty, especially with starting in February. So I know people get their system down and they don't really have any issues with drafts on the quilts, but I don't really want to start in February and have that problem right away and be something I have to deal with, you know, in freezing temperatures. So I went with the cloud just because it's kind of a hybrid of the two. So it is a sleeping bag, but instead of being zippered, it has like a comforter, like duvet portion of it that you can open up to vent heat, you know, tuck around yourself, so it feels like you're sleeping with a, you know, with a quilt, but you are sort of fully encased in the sleeping bag. It also has a slot on the bottom near your feet where you can slide your feet out to regulate your temperature. And yeah, we've done both Hadrian's Wall now, Slate Trail in the UK, some very cold nights, and this has kept me almost too warm in some cases. You know, started overheating at one point, so I had to, you know, take off the quilt portion of it. But yeah, really like this. Again, it's probably slightly heavier than I'd like, but it's, again, worth it for that, for the extra comfort. Last of my big three is my bag. So this is the Osprey Exos 58 litre bag. So it's by no means as ultra light, but you know, you can get much lighter frameless packs these days, but just with the frame that it has on here, it just carries the weight so much more comfortably. So, you know, it's worth the extra weight for me to carry that. Last thing I've got that I'm not already wearing is my Black Diamond Trail Cork trekking poles. So obviously these need to be used to put my tent up. But yeah, I've put a couple 100 miles on these and they're still going strong. A little dirty and stuff, but they still do the job. Really like the cork grip, so your hands don't just sweat too much. That's everything that I'm carrying. In terms of what I'm actually, my worn gear that's not included in my base weight, so I've got just a pair of Nike sunglasses, Black Diamond baseball cap, this sun hoodie. I really like this already. I've had this on every sort of big hike I've done for the last few years. So it's from a company called Cool, K-U-H-L, and it's ideal, like even in summer or winter, like it works in any condition. But I'm happy walking. Today is almost freezing, and after been walking in this with a t-shirt underneath, and it's been plenty warm enough when you move in. So yeah, under that I've got a Caramore hiking shirt, synthetic shirt. I've got a pair of Montane Slipstream shorts, and on my feet I'm wearing Ultra Lone Peak 5s. So I've got this sort of newish pair I've been using them for a while, but I've got this new pair to start with, and I also have a pair of the Lone Peak 8s at home, which I'll be sending to myself when these give up the ghost. So I've at least got 2 pairs. I'll probably end up going through a few more, but the first few pairs I'm sorted for. Yeah, I think that's everything in terms of all my gear. But yeah, I hope that I haven't gone on too long. Hopefully that's informative. I've now just got to try and get everything back in this pack so we can go and get some food. But yeah, I guess whether you already know me or you don't, if you want to follow along, then I'll be trying to post. I'll probably be posting videos about once every week, so I'm hoping to just film, and then when we get into town once a week or so, I'll have a bit of time to try and put some form of edited video together. So yeah, I'm not sure what form they'll take at the moment, but yeah, I'm certainly excited to hopefully show you some of the journey as we go. But yeah, that's everything. So thanks very much for watching, and I guess the next video will be driving down to the trail and starting at Springer Mountain. So thanks very much.